it's Brandy from Brandy Gale Health and Fitness. I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about meals and meal prep and just keeping it simple. There's no reason to make everything complicated. So today I wanted to talk about, again, like I said, sometimes it's so easy to have a long night and all you want to do is get something in the oven. So you pull out a tombstone or chicken nuggets or french fries or frozen lasagna, something that you can just toss in the oven and walk away from for a little bit and have something. I mean, I know lasagna is not quick, but something that you can toss in and have dinner on the table in a few minutes. Well, tonight I want to share with you that you can actually have fresh food on the table just as fast as you can have some of those frozen foods. Don't get me wrong, there are some days that I'm in the kitchen longer than I would like, but it depends on what it is that I make, and I know ahead of time that I'm going to be in here longer than I would want to because I'm making something a little bit more complicated or complex. My first tip is make a meal plan. Now this week I didn't make a full-on meal plan and plan out every breakfast, lunch, dinner, but what I did do is go through and figure out, I was kind of getting tired of the same old things, so I went to my Pinterest board and I grabbed some of those recipes off of there that I've added and I've never made. So I added wrote down some of the recipes off my Pinterest page and wrote down which ones I was going to make on which nights. And then that gave me ahead of time, knew what vegetables needed to be cut up ahead of time and what meats I could keep out because I'd be making them in the next few days, and what meats I needed to freeze because it was going to be a few days before I would be getting to them. And then I was able to, just having a rough outline also cuts back on the what's for dinner dilemma. You know how it is. You get home, everybody's hungry, including you, and everybody's like, what's for dinner? And you're like, I don't know. And you start digging through the freezer and the fridge and the cabinets and nothing looks good and you don't even know if you have anything available to make. And then you end up making a run to the store and you're spending extra money that you don't need to spend, and you're spending time looking for something for dinner, and you could just be in and out of the kitchen by the time you're done even figuring out what's for dinner. So making a plan helps quite a bit, especially in that area. So this week, since I already knew what I was doing, I went ahead and on Monday, we didn't have anything going on. So Monday, I went ahead and made Monday's dinner. And I also prepared the vegetables and the chicken for Tuesday's dinner because I knew Tuesday that my husband and I both had meetings and we weren't going to be home long. So I put the chicken in the marinade and cut up the vegetables for it. And then Tuesday when I got home from work, I walked in the door and I put the chicken on the grill and got everything done and ready. By the time the chicken was done on the grill, I had the side dishes ready and everything was ready to go. And then Monday night, I also, for Wednesday, made cauliflower rice. So if you've never had it, it's just a head of cauliflower and you get the food processor out and you grind it down into rice-sized pieces. And so it's a low-carb rice option. But I knew that was going to be for dinner Wednesday and that I wasn't going to have with everything else that I needed to prepare for Wednesday, I knew that I needed to get that done ahead of time. So Monday night I prepped meals for 3 nights, and then I spent more time in the kitchen on Monday, but it saved me time in the kitchen on Tuesday and Wednesday. My second tip is if you know what vegetables you're going to have for dinner, you can cut them all at once. I don't know about you, but once I get the cutting board out and the knife and I start going, I can get through the vegetables pretty fast, but it takes time to get the cutting board out and the knife and rinse everything and So if you do it all at once, if you rinse everything at once and then start cutting it and putting it in Ziploc bags or storage containers or something that's going to keep it until you need it, I mean, I don't like to do more than 2 or 3 days in vegetables at a time because I feel like they start to get kind of soggy after that. But if you can do several days at once, chopping up the vegetables and things like that so that they're ready to go. And then you also know if you have any extras for snacks or whatever, you can also prep any of the extra fruit or vegetables you have all at the same time. And a lot of people take just an hour or two on Sunday to prepare everything after they've gone grocery shopping and made a meal plan. My last tip is don't forget to use the tools that you have. So I talk all the time about my crock pot, and it's true, I use it quite a bit. I load my crock up the night before put the meat and the vegetables, whatever I'm going to cook. I put it all in there the night before. I stick it in the fridge overnight. I pull it out in the morning. I set it in the base and I turn it on, and dinner is done when I get home. I didn't have to spend any time in the morning preparing it because I did it the night before. And then I also use the slow cooker liners because they make cleanup such a breeze. You pull it out, you tie it in a knot, you throw it in the garbage can, and then you just have to give your crock pot a quick rinse when you're done with it. Another tool another thing that I use, it's not really a tool, is foil or parchment paper. I line my baking sheets with foil or parchment paper before I make my meal, and then I can throw that away when I'm done, and it cuts back on time spent doing dishes or letting things soak. Sorry, I need to check my notes. A new tool that I got, and I'm just testing it out, so share your tips with me if you have anything for the Instant Pot and your favorite recipes, so I have some more go-tos to use in there. But it's a pressure cooker, and it's something that I'm still trying to get used to, but it makes meals faster than you can make them in the oven. So send me your recipes your way, and I will share tips on my Instant Pot later once I get used to it. And last, don't underestimate things like stir fries and one pot meals. Tonight we had a chicken bake. Hi Sharon, it's great to see you. So tonight we had a chicken bake, and I just cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces and cut up all the vegetables. I tossed them all into one baking sheet and sprinkled Italian seasonings on top of it, and poured EVOO over top, and baked it at 450 for 20 minutes, and the chicken and the vegetables were all done, and dinner was ready in 20 minutes, and you serve it with rice or quinoa, and you've got dinner in a hurry. So I hope that these tips have been helpful for you tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow with some more tips. Have a good night. Bye, Sharon. Thanks for hopping on.